I made a video yesterday about the time that I spent in default of my federal student loans, and I got some questions from you guys. So first and foremost, there's always advantages and disadvantages with everything, especially when we're dealing with these federal student loans. And when you're in default, that's no different. But even still, you want to be sure and you want to have an understanding of what you're doing prior to you making any decisions on getting yourself out of default, whether that's through loan rehabilitation or even if that is through consolidation. Because we got to remember with consolidation, there's processes to that as well. And not only that, when you consolidate your loans, you run the risk of losing any of your payment counts that you had prior, because we're going into a whole new loan when you consolidate. Now, at the time when I was in default, I didn't consolidate. I didn't have any loans left to consolidate. My loans were already consolidated, so that wasn't an option for me. But at the time, my income qualified me to go into a rehabilitation program, and that's where I was put on those 9 or 10 months worth of payments. It's been a while, where I made $5 a month for that time period, and then after that, I was able to go into an income-driven repayment plan. One big thing too, if you are going into rehabilitation, you want to make sure that you're keeping up with those monthly payments. Don't miss one. And once you're done, once you complete that program, make sure that you're getting yourself enrolled into an income-driven repayment plan, okay? So don't forget that step. After you get out of rehab, that you get yourself enrolled into an income-driven repayment plan, so that way you don't have to worry about going back into another type of default or anything of that nature. Also, with credit reporting, the credit reporting is going to look different as well with the rehabilitated loan and a consolidated loan. Now, one thing too to remember about these defaulted federal student loans is that your credit reports, so the credit reports are affected by this as well. Now, with the rehabilitation, after you have rehabilitated the loans, which means you went through the program, you've made all the required payments, you get yourself into your income-driven payment plan, what happens is that defaulted record under rehab is removed from the credit report, but you're still dealing with that negative history that's on the report prior to the rehabilitation that you may have to go and fight and dispute. With the consolidated loan, it's a little different as far as with the credit reporting. It's basically with the noting. So what's going to happen with the consolidation loan is just going to have a notation on there that the defaulted loan was paid through a consolidation. So with all of it, when you are dealing with a defaulted federal student loan, just make sure that you're pulling your credit reports as well to make sure the information is complete, that it can be verified, and that the information is accurate as well. One thing about federal student loans, they're never complete. The payment history on federal student loans, I've not seen a credit report where federal student loans was reporting accurately. So that's something you want to do. Credit reports are free. Every single week, you can pull all three from the Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, annualcreditreport.com. But just a lot of, that's just some of the things I just want you guys to know. I know I spoke about my time in rehabilitation, like I said in that video. It wasn't something that was just, an easy process, but, at the time, that's just what I had to do.